Hey everybody, and welcome back. One of the questions that was asked by one of the subscribers is, basically the hips are going to move level through the ball? No, they're not. They're not even close. They're not moving level in the backswing, and they definitely aren't moving level in the forward swing. Okay? But you're going to be like, well, Chris, why? Because when I get like this and my hips go here, they're no longer level. They're at a tilt, but not because of anything that makes this happen. It's just because of the way that we're moving our body, okay? So now what we have to understand, and this is going to go on with understanding the transition a little bit better as well, but when my hips go this way, because now I've got this, I've triggered from the lead side, I'm rebounding off of that, I get to the top, I stay in my posture, I get my recenter move. So then here comes my load, there comes my move. Now from right here, this lead part of the pelvis is going this way. It is not going this way level. It's just not. And if you guys start looking at Mr. Hogan's swing, you are going to see this. And this is what made his pivot world class. The best that has ever played the game. Mr. Hogan's pivot, in my opinion, is the best sequence for pure, what appears to be rotation. However, in my opinion and my full understanding, it ain't got nothing to do with rotation at all. The pelvis is incapable of rotation without other parts of the upper body and lower body moving. It is fused. The bottom part of your spine is fused back here, period. And that little bit of rotation that it has is maybe, I don't know, 2 to 6 degrees, somewhere within that window. So if I'm standing up straight and I don't do anything, that's as much as the pelvis is going to move. But when I go to the top this way, start to come down, now I've got this squat kind of whatever, cowboy look, and then it's coming through. The pelvis is not staying level. That would be more like you're spinning out of the shot. The pelvis itself is, when you do everything else that we've talked about, coming down the seam line, the orbit of the elbows, all the different videos that are on this channel, go back and look at them. But this pelvis movement is, the hips are not coming level through the shot. They just aren't. They are going this way, up at an angle, but I'm not trying to, jack up on this leg and get over here. I'm just letting the pelvis turn. And the reason it does is, the reason it moves up is because I'm tilted forward. So if you can think about, remember the sports stick that we talked about, like if I was sitting on it, I'm gonna feel that rotation under me, and then when I'm coming down, it's not coming down and rotating level. The second it gets right there, this left side of the pelvis is moving up at this angle. And when it moves up at this angle, go back and start really looking at Mr. Hogan's swing. He did not come through level. He came through level to his spine angle, which you see a lot of the guys on TV right now, when they're coming down and they're going this way, they're getting this really acute tilted over position like this. Well, Mr. Hogan, when he came through it, it was more like this. It's not so much here, and everybody would be like, wow, Mr. Hogan's got this really level swing. Level to what? The ground? No. Level to the club? No. Level to the hips? No. Level to a tilted spine angle. So you're here, the hips make this move that they're coming back down, and then they'll explode back up this way. So that's going this way up, which is why Mr. Hogan release looked like it was following this massive rotation over here to the left. Now all this is going left, which is why everything in Mr. Hogan's swing looked like it went up here and over to the lead side. Because again, watch what happens. When this pelvis goes this way, instead of going level, now it went that way. Look what just happened. Because this hip is now, our lead part of the pelvis is out of the way, now all I have to do is drive up. I'm not going to go here and drive around, because the pelvis, now that it's kind of levered, if you will, it's going to go this way. Now I can just come up. And when I come up, look at this. It looks like everything rotates, but I am not trying to turn. I am pushing this back, and then I'm exploding with this trail foot and my body to be able to get me to come into this position. Pretty simple stuff. So really understand, guys, the pelvis is not turning level. It's turning level to the sports stick this way, there, lever. See that angle? Sports stick behind us. Here, there, angle change, period. And it's that angle change that then allows us to come up and look like we've got this massive rotation around our body. So hopefully this is going to clear it up. There is no level pelvis movement at all. The pelvis is tilted forward, because if I put this on it, I put my butt on it, sports stick, there it is, I'm sitting on it. So my entire pelvis is now this way. So if it's tilted, it's like this, like that, angle change. And that angle change is what lets you start seeing this part of my butt. It's not me trying to turn and get this, where most people, they're gonna move laterally, then they get stuck like this. You can't see any part of my buttocks here, and everything just goes this way. So what I mean by that is if I get here and I make this lateral movement to where this feels level, this is where I get to. And this might, look like some guys on TV, but this is not what we are doing. There is not this type of movement in the golf swing. There's just not. It is, even now, again, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, and I'm not saying there aren't some tour players out there doing it, but if you really want to understand what Hogan was doing, it's this way, recenter, load. Now from right here, it goes this way, but I'm not pushing up off of it. I'm not trying to jump up in the air with my feet. It's the pelvis getting out of the way to be able to drive the right side through. So seriously, don't take my word for it. Go look at the swings of Mr. Hogan, and really, once you see him right there, the second he gets, which is really going to be right there, all of a sudden this goes there. Now from right here, this goes, the trail part, the lead part of the pelvis goes this way on an acute angle change, and then you bring everything to, and then you're going to extend up out of it without trying to turn. That's the beautiful part about it. Hope this helps. We'll see you in the next video.